about error, right? And we have we have defined that error is the difference between measured value and true value. The difference between measured value and true value is called error. All right, good. So suppose if someone is measuring a value, the value he has measured is close to the true value, then error will be less. But if measured value is far away from the true value, then error is big or large or more. All right. Okay. Now in the last class I also told you that no measurement can ever be perfect. That means every measurement has some error within it, right? Now my question to you is that if all measurements have certain error, if all measurements have certain error, then how do we calculate or how do we find true value? Okay, think about this question. We'll get back to this question in a short while. So first let us talk about types of errors. Types of errors. Errors are of two types. Errors are of two types. Number one, systematic error. Systematic error. Number two, a random error. Systematic error. Number two, a random error. So what is systematic error? What is systematic error? Systematic error. So if the error is either always positive, if the error is either always positive if the error is either always positive or always negative or always negative or always negative, then such type of error is called such type of error is called systematic error. Then such type of error is called systematic error. Okay. So if the error is either always positive or always negative, then such type of error is called systematic error. All right. Now, what causes systematic error? So, systematic error can be due to three reasons. Systematic error can be due to three reasons. Number one, instrumental error. Instrumental error. Now, what exactly is the meaning of instrumental error? If error is caused due to the instrument which is used for reading, if error is caused due to instrument instrument used for taking reading. If error is caused due to instrument used for taking reading, then such error is called then such error is called instrumental error. Then such error is called instrumental error. Okay. So basically it is caused due to the instrument being used in the reading. For example, suppose there is a cloth merchant who is using a meter scale of length 95 centimeter. So as it is a meter scale, its actual length should be 100 centimeters. But the cunning cloth merchant is using it as 95 centimeters. Correct? Now, however efficient you are in taking reading, whenever you are taking reading from that meter scale, what will happen? You have measured as 1 meter, but actually it is 95 centimeters. Always. Okay? So your efficiency is not going to make any change in that. Your reading will always have error in that, and that error will be systematic error. That error is systematic error and it is caused due to the instrument. Another example, suppose if you are measuring electric current, you are measuring electric current, and what is happening whenever you are measuring the current with the help of a meter, it is increasing current by value of, let's say, 0.1 ampere. So when you are measuring current as 1.1, in reality it is 1 ampere only. Okay, so that error is also caused due to the instrument, and it is also systematic because every time same type of effect it will add, because it is the instrument which is causing the defect. Same way your weighing machine can give some error which is due to instrument. So these all are examples of instrumental error, and it is systematic in nature. The second thing which can cause systematic error is due to wrong method or formula. Due to wrong or formula. Due to wrong method or formula. So the error which is included or which comes into picture, the error which comes due to the error which comes due to wrong method.
ईयरफोन हट गया इधर आ
Everyone, please keep your mics muted. Please keep your mics muted. The error which comes due to wrong method or formula is also systematic in nature, or is also systematic in nature. Okay. Now, let us take an example. Suppose this is ground and this is a ball. It has dropped from a height of 10 meters. It is dropped from a height of 10 meter. Using a stopwatch, we calculated the time also that it has taken. Suppose that time comes out to be t is equal to delta t. All right. That height is, let's say, h. So when we have height, when we have height, when we have time, so we can calculate its speed. So speed v is equal to distance upon time. Speed v is equal to distance upon time, and that will be h upon delta t. So this will be the speed with which the ball is going to hit the bottom. This will be the speed with which ball is going to hit the bottom. Correct? Now if you have used this method, your answer will be wrong. Your answer will be wrong. Why? Because while you are using this method, you have not included acceleration due to gravity. You have not included acceleration due to gravity. That's why every time if you are using this method, your answer will be wrong, and that error will be systematic in nature. that error will also be systematic in nature. So this error creeps in due to wrong method or formula. Either the method which you have used is wrong or the formula which you have used is wrong. Okay. Now the third part, due to which error comes into picture, instrumental error, systematic. So third is human error. Human error. Try to understand. In any measurement, there are three important aspects. One is the instrument which you are going to use for taking reading. After instrument, the second thing comes is method which you are using, method or formula. And third thing, the person who is going to take the reading. Correct? Now the person who is going to take the reading, if that is not doing it properly, then also it will be systematic in nature. So the error caused due to the person performing experiment. Person performing experiment slash reading is also systematic in nature. Systematic in nature. So how many types of errors are there? Errors are of two types, systematic error and random error. Systematic errors are of three types. Which three? Instrumental due to wrong method or formula, and third type is human error. Okay. Now we are moving towards random error. Random error. So what is random error? So if the error is sometimes positive, if the error is sometimes positive, if the error is sometimes positive and sometimes negative, if the error is sometimes positive and sometimes negative, then such error is called a random error. Then such error is called random error. Okay. So random error can be due to various reasons. It can be due to environment, it can be due to many factors. All right. So we have talked about the two types of errors. Now listen very carefully. The question which I gave you, that when no measurement is perfect, how do we find the true value? Is God appearing in front of us and telling, okay, the length of this room is 3 meters, width of this room is 4 meters. Please consider these as true values. No, we only decide that this is the true value. Correct? But how do we arrive at that true value? Please pay attention. To find true value, of any object, to find true value of any object, we take multiple readings. To find a true value of any object, we take, please keep your mics muted, everyone. We take multiple readings. So suppose A1, A2, A3, A4 AN are n readings. suppose A1, A2, A3, A4 dot 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 AN are n readings, then true value TV is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus AN upon n upon n. So that's how we find the true value, and that is also equal to A mean. That is also equal to A mean. So that's how we find the true value of anything. Greater is the number of readings. Greater are the number of readings. Greater are the number of readings. More accurate will be the the true value. More accurate will be the true value. Okay. Now there is something called absolute error. So please write absolute error. Absolute error. Reading is called absolute error. Okay. So how to calculate that? So absolute error in A1 minus A mean. So that is absolute error in A1. Similarly, absolute error in A2, absolute error in A2 is equal to delta A2, and that is A2 error in AN, that will be delta AN, and that is equal to AN minus A mean. That will be AN minus A mean. So that about mean absolute error. So please write mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. Okay. Mean absolute. Mean absolute error. Mean value of absolute error is called mean absolute error. is equal to delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 plus delta AN upon N. Okay, plus AN relative error. Relative error. So ratio of mean absolute error and mean value ratio of mean absolute error and mean value is called relative error. Okay, so relative error RE is equal to mean absolute error upon mean value. So RE is equal to delta A mean upon A mean. So relative error is delta A mean upon A mean. Relative error is delta A mean upon A mean. Okay. Now note one thing. Relative error is dimensionless. Relative error is unitless and dimensionless. All right. After that comes percentage error. Percentage error. Percent error. Okay. So what is percentage error? If the error is represented, if the error is represented in form of percent, in form of percent, then if the error is represented in form of percent, then such error is called percentage error. If error is represented in form of percent, then such error is called percentage error. So percentage error is equal to relative error into 100. Remember that. Percentage error is equal to relative error into 100. Percentage error is also unitless and dimensionless. Percentage error is also unitless and dimensionless. Percentage error is also unitless and dimensionless. Noted, everyone? Noted, everyone? Good. So now let me give you a question. Let me give you a question. Length of a rod is given as 1.46 meter, 1.49 meter, 1.48 meters, 1.49 meters, and 1.46 meters. Find number 1 true value, number 2 percentage error in measurement of length of rod. Please find everyone. Please calculate. is equal to mean value is equal to A mean will be 1.46 plus 1.49 plus 1.485. How much that comes out to be? How much that comes out to be? That comes out to be 1.476. Okay. Now listen very carefully, everyone. The actual values are 1.46, 1.49, 1.48, 1.4, two decimal places. But after doing calculation, we are getting values up to 3 decimal places. So be very clear about it. Your calculation cannot enhance your precision. Your calculation cannot enhance your precision. That means we have got one extra digit. We have got one respectfully telling the digit to leave. There is something called process of rounding off. So we need to initiate that process. So this 6 is greater than 5. So while we are rounding it off, we will get a mean. Now this 6, as it was greater than 5, while rounding that will be your mean value. Mean value will be 1.48. Mean value will be 1.48. Is that clear to everyone? Good. Now, delta A1. Delta A1 means absolute error in A1. So that will be 1. So that comes out to be 0.02. Then comes delta A2. So delta A2 means 1.49 minus 1.48. So that comes out to be 0.01. Then delta A3 is equal to 1.48 minus 1.48, and that will be 0.00. Delta A4 is 1.49 minus 1.48, that will be 0.01, and delta A5 will be 1.46 minus 1.48, that will be 0.02. So these are absolute errors in A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. So mean absolute error. Mean absolute error. Delta A mean. Delta A mean. So that will be delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 plus delta A4 plus delta A5. Why? 5. That comes out to be 0.02 plus 0.01 plus 0.00 plus 0.01 plus 0. Divided by 5, and that comes out to be 0.012. 0.012. Now again, here also we are getting one extra unnecessary digit. We have to tell that digit to leave, and the value will be 0.01. This time, as 2 is less than 5, we are going to simply drop the digit. We are simply going to drop the digit. So delta A mean will be 0.01. Now, relative error. Relative error. So relative error will be delta A mean upon A mean. So this is 0.01 upon what was mean value? It was 1.48. So this is your relative error. So percentage error, how much that will be? So that will be RE into 100, 0.01 upon 1.48 into 100. How much is that? Please tell me, everyone. How much is that? That comes out to be 0.67. How much is this value? Zero 0.675 actually. That 5 can be rounded off, and that will be 0.68. This will be the answer. How many of you are getting this? How many of you are getting this? Okay. So this will be your percentage error. Deepika Patel is writing approx 0.7. Let me tell you, you are finding error in error. That won't be correct. Okay, you cannot say approx. You cannot approximate error. You cannot, you should not. Okay. Error is to find that how much is approximation, and you are doing approximation in that also. Okay, avoid that. So this is about calculation of error. Now we are going to talk about working with errors. How do we include errors in our calculation? So please write working with errors. Working with errors. Working with errors. Okay. Now, before we actually talk about working with errors, try to understand what exactly is meant by error, how it is represented. So suppose you have A. So A is some reading in which A plus minus delta A. We are representing it like this. So this is sure part. This is ambiguous part. Ambiguous part means we are not very sure about it. All right. So basically, when you are saying capital A is equal to small a plus minus delta A, what does it mean? That we are sure about A, small a, and there can be plus minus delta A equivalent error in that A. Okay. बात समझ आ रहा है? Suppose you wrote the exam, NEET exam, and you checked that your score is coming out to be, I'm just taking a hypothetical number, and you said, sir, my score will be 400 plus minus 5. That what you are saying. I said, what do you mean by 400 plus minus 5? Sir, actually my 80 questions are correct. I am not sure about one question. So based on that, my score is coming out to be this. Or you can say, let's say 125 questions are 400 is the score. So for 400 score, how many questions should be correct? It can be anywhere. So understood the meaning of this? All right. Now similarly for B, similarly there can be B which is equal to small b plus minus delta B. All right. So A and B are physical quantities. A and B are physical quantities. A and B are physical quantities which will undergo some operation. Now that operation can be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, power, anything. Okay. So and we'll get a resultant, or you can say result. Okay. So suppose that result part is Z. So capital Z is equal to small z plus minus delta Z. Okay. So again, when you are representing result as capital Z, small z part we are sure about, and delta Z part is error in that. Okay. So now let us go ahead. Case 1. When quantities are in addition or subtraction. 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 So when quantities are in addition or subtraction, listen very carefully. First, let us talk about addition or addition. So we are assuming that Z is equal to A plus B. We are assuming that Z is equal to A plus B. Now what is Z? Z was small z plus minus delta Z. What was A? It was small a plus minus delta A. And what is B? It is small b plus minus delta B. Alright. So when we are going to solve this further, it will be A plus B plus minus delta A plus delta B. And that is equal to Z plus minus delta Z. Now if I compare both sides, then this part is actually this part, and this part is equal to this part. So comparing both sides, comparing both sides, we get, and what do we get? Small z is equal to a plus b, and delta z is equal to delta a plus delta b. Delta z is equal to delta a plus delta b. So what do we conclude out of this? What do we conclude out of this? So I am writing the conclusion for subtraction also. You can note it down later. So conclusion is, when quantities are in addition or subtraction, when quantities are in addition or subtraction, their absolute errors get added. So when quantities are in addition or subtraction, their absolute errors get added. So what is delta A? Delta A is absolute error in A. What is delta B? Delta B is absolute error in B. What is delta Z? Delta Z is absolute error in Z. Alright. So this we did for addition. Now let us quickly do it for subtraction. So case 2 when B part for subtraction. For subtraction. So suppose z is equal to a minus b. So when z is equal to a minus b, that means z plus minus delta z is equal to a plus minus delta a minus b plus minus delta b. And that will give us z plus minus delta z is equal to a minus b in the bracket plus minus delta a plus delta b. Okay. So again comparing both sides. Comparing both sides. So what that will give us, z is equal to a minus b and delta z is equal to delta a plus delta a plus delta b. So here also you can see that even in subtraction absolute errors are getting added. This is the important part. This is the important part. Okay. Next, let me give you a question. If a is equal to 3.0 plus minus 0.01, 0.03 and b is equal to 2.0 plus minus 0.02, find value of number 1 a plus b and number 2 a minus b. Quickly solve these two parts, everyone. Okay, everyone. Let's discuss. So a plus b will be a plus b will be 3 plus 2 is 5.0 plus minus 0.03 plus 0.02. So that will be 0.05. So this is a plus b. Now a minus b. So a minus b means 3.0 minus 2.0 plus minus 0.03 plus 0.02. So that will be 1.0 plus minus 0.05. So in both the cases, if you see, your absolute errors are same. Your absolute errors are same. And that was the meaning of whether the quantities are in addition or subtraction, their absolute errors get added. Right? Good. Good, everyone. Good. So this was when quantities are in addition or subtraction. Now case 2, when quantities are in multiplication or division. So case 2, when quantities are in multiplication, when quantities are in multiplication or division, when quantities are in multiplication or division. All right, so again same thing. Suppose z, first we are talking about multiplication. For multiplication, so suppose the thing is z is equal to a into b. So z is how much? Small z plus minus delta z. All right, and that will be equal to a plus minus delta a into b plus minus delta b. All right, now pay attention further. A into b will be ab plus minus a into delta b will be a delta b plus minus b into delta a will be b delta a plus minus delta a into delta b. Okay. Now delta a and delta b are very small. So delta a into delta b will be very small. Just to give you example, pay attention. 0.01 into 0.01, that becomes 0001, which is very, that's why we are neglecting it to 0. All right. So that gives us, pay attention, AB plus minus A delta B plus B delta A, and that is equal to Z plus minus delta Z. Comparing both sides, So comparing both sides. So when we are comparing both sides, we get Z is equal to AB, delta Z is equal to A delta B plus B delta A. Okay. So dividing delta Z by Z. So delta Z by Z will be, now pay attention, what is delta Z? It is A delta B plus B delta A, and what is Z? Z is AB. So that will give us delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. So what is important concept here? When quantities are in multiplication or division, when quantities are in multiplication or division, when quantities are in multiplication or division, their relative errors their relative errors get added. So when quantities are in multiplication or division, their relative errors get added. Okay. So let me give you question. If A is equal to 3.0 plus minus 0.03 and B is equal to 2.0 plus minus 0.03, find relative error in number 1 A into B, number 2 A divided by B. Please find everyone. Listen carefully, everyone. Relative error in A is equal to delta A by A 0.03 upon 3, and that comes out to be 0.01. Similarly, relative error in B that will be, I took B as, can we make slight changes in values, everyone, or let it be? So that will be delta B by B, and that will be 0.03 upon 0, 2.0. And that will be 0.015. Now again here we are reaching up to 3 decimal places, so we cannot do that. So this will be rounded off. Now as per the process of rounding off, as previous digit is odd, this will be raised by 1, so 0.02. Hence relative error in A into B, and that will be delta A by A plus delta B by B. So delta A by A is 0.01 plus delta B by B is 0.02, and that comes out to be 0.03. Answer. Similarly, relative error in A by B, and that will be delta A by A plus delta B by B, and that will be 0.01 plus 0.02 is equal to 0.03. Answer. Understood, Siddhi? That's how we calculate relative errors. Siddhi, understood? Okay. So this is how we calculate relative errors when quantities are in multiplication or division. Now case 3, when quantities are in power. Case 3, when quantities are in power. Quantities are in power. So basically Z is equal to A to the power n. This is the meaning of having power. So Z is equal to A to the power n. We all know power is nothing but repetitive multiplication. So as power is repetitive multiplication, it can be written as A into A n times. Correct. Now we know how to handle errors in multiplication. We have just learnt. So by multiplication concept, so delta Z by Z will be delta A by A plus delta B by B. No, not B by B. Here B by B is A only. Plus delta A by A plus delta A by A plus delta A by A. How many times? N times. Correct? So what do we get ultimately? Delta z by z is equal to n times delta a by a. Whatever was in power, that comes in front in multiplication. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Correct? Understood, everyone? Very good. Very good. Question. Question. If percentage error in radius is 2%, find percentage error in percentage error in number 1 area, number 2 volume of sphere. Volume of sphere. Please find, everyone. Please find. Okay. Pay attention, everyone. we know area of a sphere, area of a sphere A is equal to 4 pi r square. Okay, so basically area is dependent on r to the power 2. So delta A by A will be 2 times delta r by r. Now you might ask, sir, what is happening for 4 pi? See, 4 pi is a pure number. So due to that pure number, there won't be any error in this calculation. Okay, that's why we are not talking about that. So delta A by A will be 2 into 2%, and that comes out to be 4%. So error in area will be 4%. Now similarly volume V is equal to 4 pi. Here also volume is dependent on r to the power 3. So delta V by V is equal to 3 times delta r by r. So that will be delta V by V is equal to 3 into 2%, and that will be 6%. That will be 6%. Understood everyone? Understood everyone? Good. Good. Next question. Next question. If if error in volume of a sphere is 2%, find error in area of sphere. Please find everyone. Everyone, please pay attention. error in volume. So delta V by V is equal to 3 times delta R by R, and that is equal to 2%. Okay, so that gives us delta R by R, is equal to 2 by 3%. Correct. Now for area. So delta A by A is equal to 2 times delta R by R. So that will be 2 into 2 by 3%. So 2 into 2 by 3 means 4 by 3%. Answer will be 4 by 3%. Clear? Just to tell you, those who are calculating, 4 by 3 comes out to be 1.333. Correct? Even if you are rounding it off, everyone, it will be 1.33%. It won't be 1.34. It won't be 1.34. It won't be 1.32. Listen, Pratyusha, Pooja, Deepika. Okay? It will be 1.33 only if at all you want to write it like this. Clear? Clear? Okay, good. Next question. If error in A is 2%, in B is 1%, and in C is 3%, find error in number 1 ABC. The ABC means A into B into C. Number 2 A square into B by C. Number 3 it will be A, in fact root A divided by BC. Please find everyone. These three you need to tell. Okay. Everyone please pay attention. In first case, error will be delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b plus delta c by c. Okay. Delta a by a is 2 plus 1 plus 3 is equal to 6%. Is equal to 6%. Any doubt, any question? Good. Now in second part, delta z by z, a square, that means 2 times delta a by a into b plus delta b by b into c plus delta c by c, and that will be 2 into 2 plus 1 plus 3. So 4 plus 1, 5 plus 3 is equal to 8%. Is equal to 8%. Any doubt, any question in this, anyone? Understood, everyone? Okay. Now in third part, so root a upon this, so that will be delta z by z is equal to root a. Root means power half. So half times delta a by a plus delta b by b plus delta c by c. So 1 by 2 into 2 plus 1 plus 1. No, 3. C is 3%. So that comes out to be 1 plus 1 plus 3 is equal to 5%. Answer. Answer. So these are the answers. Siddhi has solved correctly. These are the answers of the question. Okay. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask everyone. Pratyusha, pay attention to the concept. When quantities are in multiplication or division, their absolute errors get added, not multiplied. Their absolute errors get added. The one which you said will be relative error. Relative error into 100 becomes percentage error. So both have exactly same treatment. Pratyusha, relative error and percentage error are treated almost similarly. The only difference is one is represented in form of relative, one is represented in form of percentage. That's it. Otherwise, they are almost similar. Okay. Okay, Pratyusha. Okay. Any other doubt, anyone? Any question? Anyone? Okay, so that is enough for today. We'll be solving more questions, more clarity we'll be getting in next class. And in next class, we'll be finishing this chapter. Before that, NEET exam result I am expecting to be announced very soon. So hopefully, let's see how students are going to do in exam. Okay. See you then, everyone. Bye bye.